Hi friends, it's me, Miss Chacone, and today, if you notice, I have my kitty ears on. And I'm wearing my kitty ears because cats are one of my favorite animals. I just love kitties so much and when they purr and everything like that. So what I wanted to ask you today before we start is, what is your favorite animal? I like cats because they purr and they have cute whiskers and I like their little paws. But what's your favorite animal? So if go ahead and comment on Class Dojo and tell me what's your favorite animal. And you could go ahead and message me and say, Mr. Cole, my favorite animal is a sloth, or my favorite animal is a llama. Remember our sloth and llama in our classroom? So if those are your favorite animals, or if you have a bunny that's your favorite animal, go ahead and tell me because, as you know, I like cats and I like saying meow. So, and when cats make their cute meow noise, that's just so nice. So, tell me what your favorite animal is and why you like that animal, okay? All right. So, let's get started. Before we start, just to let you know, please remember to be turning in your homework. We're not in spring break anymore, and we are going to be doing this. It's called distance learning. Distance learning is where you're still learning and I'm still teaching, but it's from a distance. We're learning from a place where you may be a little far from me and I may be a little far from you because we're not in school right now, but you can still learn. So we're learning from a distance. You're watching this video and you're learning from me. So even though we're learning from a distance, I still need you to be doing your homework. So please, please, please do your homework and take a picture of it or write it out and email it to me. Whatever you can do, as long as you send it, because I'm going to be giving you credit. So not only will you get a dojo point like Ani M is about to get, look at her, she's getting a dojo point. Good job, Ani M. Not only will you get dojo points, but also when you do your work, you get marked present. So just in the morning, remember in the mornings during school, what would happen is that I would say, "Oh, Steven's here. Oh, Angelo's here. Oh, Decini is here. All these kids are here today." I would mark you all present. But now the only way I know you're doing your work is if you send me some pictures or drawings or whatever you have, okay? So remember also, when you get a dojo point for doing your homework, what happens is that if you get 15, you get your artwork or your Lego or your baking, you get it posted on Class Dojo. So remember to be doing that, my friends. Okay, so let's begin. What we're going to be doing first is we're going to be learning about space. So remember the theme of our unit. We're now on unit 7, and with that unit, it's about the past. So remember the past, the present, and the future. So do it with me. Past, present, future. So what we're going to be reading right now is about the U.S. in space. Now tell me, do you think the U.S. in space is going to be about the past, the present, or the future? Well, it may be about the past because in the past there have been people who have gone to the moon. So this story that we're about to read could be about the past. But it could also be about the present because there are still space programs like NASA and all these space programs all around the world and they're still planning on going to places like Mars and all these different planets. So it could be about the present, it could also be about the future. Have you ever seen cool movies like Star Wars or Star Trek or any of those space movies? Those are all about the future. So let's find out. So if we look at these pictures here, we see an astronaut, a rocket, and what this is called a rover. A rover is kind of like a robot. And what happens is that there are some planets where they're just too hot, or they're too big, or there's no air on it, so we can't send astronauts there. So what our very smart-brained people do here on Earth is what we send these robots, and they're called rovers. So we send them up in a rocket, and then what happens, it's kind of like a video game. So the people down here on Earth, they control the rover, and the rover goes around and it basically does what an astronaut does. So it looks around and it says, ooh, there's a cool rock right here on Mars. Or, ooh, maybe there was water here at one time. So the rover, the job of the rover is to basically explore. So that's what we're going to be learning about today. So let's get started. Give me 1 second. So let's start reading it. So I'm going to play this, and so I'm going to play it first, okay? Let's see.
U.S. in space. In 1961.
Ooh, 1961. Is that the past, the present, or the future? I hope you said past.
Alan Shepard became the first American to go into space. A year later, in February 1962, John Glenn orbited Earth 3 times.
So orbited? So in 1962, John Glenn orbited Earth. So what orbited mean? So if this is Earth, Earth is this little circle right here. Orbit means you're going around. So what John Glenn did, if he was on Earth, he went outside of Earth and he went around and around and around Earth. So that's what happened.
In July 1969, a team of U.S. astronauts landed on the moon. Today, there are rovers showing us pictures of Mars. Maybe one day, astronauts will land on Mars.
So nobody has landed on Mars yet, but we have sent rovers up there. So just like I told you before, Mars is a little too hot for humans, so even if they have a spacesuit, they can't go yet. But we have very smart-brained people who are working on sending someone to Mars one day. So maybe you'll be one of those smart-brained people in the future who sends somebody to Mars. Or maybe you'll be one of the first astronauts to go to Mars. You never know. I'm excited to see what you'll become when you're older in the future. So, before I read it through again, I just wanted to let you know I have a cool video for you all. I'm going to put it in the plan section of our class dojo. So remember how we had this? Really quickly, I'll show you. So at the beginning of the week, every Monday, what I post are these plans. And these plans tell us what we're doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I'm going to make the link to this YouTube video available on our plans, and I'm going to post it on Class Dojo. And this is really cool if you want to know some more things about space. I'll show you like 10 seconds of it, and then you have to go watch it on your own, because it's just for fun. So I'll show you.
My job is pretty great.
So that's like 10 seconds of it. You have to go watch it on your own, okay? I think you'll really like this video. It's really fun, okay? So let's read through our story again, okay? So the U.S. in space. In 1961, so past, Alan Shepard became the first American to go into space. A year later, so that was in the future, but now it's in the past. A year later, in February 1962, John Glenn orbited Earth 3 times. So here's Earth, here's John Glenn, and he went 1, 2, 3. In July 1969, a team of U.S. astronauts landed on the moon. Now that was a big thing. Going to the moon was a huge accomplishment. And now there's an American flag on the moon because somebody went and put it right there when we landed on the moon. Today, there are rovers, or robots, showing us pictures of Mars. So that's today. So in the past, Alan Shepard was the first in space. In the past, John Glenn orbited Earth. In the past, astronauts landed on the moon. Today, we have Mars rovers. That are on Mars and they're exploring it, making sure that if we do send an astronaut there, that it's safe. And at the end it says, maybe one day, so one day means in the future. So one day, astronauts will land on Mars. So, my question for today is follows. When you go to outer space, so let me make this a little bigger. When you go to outer space, what will you do? So, this is what I want you to write, okay, my friends? When I go to space, so you can say when I go to space, when I go to Mars. We're talking about in the future. So when I go to space, and then we're going to put a comma. So when I go to space, I will. Okay, now it's your turn. So, let me just do this little one right here. Okay, I will what? What are you going to do? So these lines are for you. You can write 1 or 2 sentences or 3 if you want to. So you're going to say, when I go to space, I will what? So answer this question. Give me 1 second. So the question is, when you go to outer space, what will you do? So you're going to say, when I go to space or outer space, or you can say when I go to Mars, when I go to Saturn, you can say any of those. So when I go to blank, I will blank. I want you to write 1 or 2 sentences. If you feel like you can write more, you totally can, okay? So by the end of the today, please write a sentence and draw a picture. So this space where we usually have pictures, I want you to draw something, okay, my friends? All right, so that's the end of our language arts lesson for today. So remember, we're talking about the future. So you're not talking about now. You're not going to say, when I go to space right now, I'm going to go and I'm going to have a fun time right now. We're not talking about that. We're talking about in the future. So think, in the future when I become a very smart brain scientist, or in the future when I become a very smart brain astronaut, when I do all of that and I go to Mars, what am I going to do? I may go play with an alien. I may go get some moon rocks. I may go touch some stars. What are you going to do? Also, if you need some help, you can watch this video and find out what do astronauts do. So that could help you as well. You don't have to watch this video, but I just like this video because it's fun. So, you're going to write, just to recap, when I go to space, I will blank. You could also write, when I go to Mars, I will blank. When I go to outer space, I will blank. When I go to the moon, when I go to all these places, you need to write about the future. Okay? So we learned about the past of space. We learned about what we're doing now in space. But now I want to read about what you're going to do in the future in space. Okay, my friends? That's it for today. Please remember to be checking Class Dojo in the night and in the morning. I really want to give you all dojo points. And by next week, I want to see that this feed is full of drawings, full of beautiful artwork. I want to see something from you. Because before, when we were all at school, I remember I would be able to get drawings just like that. Kids would just give me drawings and it was really nice. But now, we don't have that. So what we want now is we want to post this and I want to see all your beautiful drawings. Or I want to see one beautiful drawing or a Lego creation or whatever you want, as creative as you can be. And when you do that, but in order to get that posted, you need to get 15 dojo points. I believe in you. You all can do it. Okay, that's it for today. Bye, my friends. Be safe and be well.